One athlete couldn't put on his jersey, and another puked in front of the camera. These are some of the most embarrassing football moments in history. Footballers are among the world's most well-known celebrities nowadays. I mean, why would they not be? They are constantly visible to billions of people. In a not-so-surprising turn of events, they are also among the world's most popular people. And when they do humiliating things, well, let's just say the whole world is made aware of it. One game got a little weird for Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Back in 2013, Zlatan and PSG came up against Nice on a 3-game winning run, and Nice knew they had to get into Zlatan's head. But they didn't have a chance because PSG scored a goal just 10 minutes in and never looked back. Zlatan wasn't playing, he was steamrolling the other players. And by the end of the first half, Nice's team was in trouble. Renato immediately realized it was up to him to end this, and jumped all over his buddy as he made eye contact with Zlatan in his gorgeous hair. Renato wanted to be a part of the action. Not only did you kiss a guy in front of millions of people, but you were also rejected. At least this wasn't as awful as Gary Lineker's, because this guy's moment stank up the entire arena. Gary was about to play in the greatest game of his career in 1990. It was England versus Ireland in the World Cup group stage. And if you know anything about Gary, you know he despises a sloppy game. And little did he realize things were about to become filthy. We've all been there with the nerves, and it occasionally gets the best of us. But Gary didn't take long to repent the night before's Taco Bell run. Even though his stomach was churning throughout the game, he came in with one aim in mind. And you could see he was eager to get things over with. He scored a goal 8 minutes in and was literally on men the entire game. But as the clock struck the 70th minute, the ball came flying towards Gary and he mistakenly let it go. Gary was captured not only in 4K, but practically cleaned himself with his hands and went away as if nothing had occurred. Filthy. We felt it was stupid to play in a game when you're so sick, until we heard about Mario Balotelli's moment, which made us wonder how this man became a $1 million pro athlete in the world. In 2011, Mario was preparing for a game against Dynamo Kiev, and he was still an inspiring player, hoping to create a name for himself during pre-game warm-ups. We believe the cameras captured him doing something idiotic, which added to the strain. He had no idea how to dress in his exercise clothes. This guy has over 9 million followers, has signed $19 million contracts, and doesn't even know how to wear his own clothes. At this point, we suppose anyone can make it. But don't do it for the females, since they don't care about money as much as you might think. And Mehdi Benita had to discover this the hard way. In 2018, Mehdi was on cloud 9 when Juventus defeated Verona for the Syrian title, and he was celebrating his career's pinnacle achievement. He was pumped, and the audience adored him. So, what could go wrong? When Mehdi came into the Juventus victory celebration, he got curled even more than me in my Instagram DMs. I like your confidence, guy. We've all been there. But at least it wasn't as awful as my friend Leonardo Cutrice's uncomfortable moment. He was in desperate need of an ambulance. Things were getting heated back in 2015 during a game between Ergotelis and A. Larissa. The two sides were battling all game very hard, but Leonardo was desperate to get the dub. And with Ergotelis leading 1-0 in the 66th minute, he was racing downfield with the goal in sight until he was tackled. A player's wounded medical personnel would be a bit more cautious. Stevie, who recruited these guys? Instead of quietly assisting him, they attempted to drag him, throw him down on the stretcher, and dump him 3 times. Which is the most insane thing I've ever seen. Do you want to know why they treated him like that? They said that they did that to him because he had not liked or subscribed to the channel. So these men will come after you the next time you are hurt. If you don't want that, click on this immediately. However, as embarrassing as the situation was, what cameras caught Fernando Navarro doing is illegal, because before the season ended, they were trying to make it into La Liga's top 4, and watching his team put in work, it hit him. Okay, so this guy's just going to piss on camera in the middle of the game? Come on, man, there are little kids around. Still, hey, I guess I respect it. Mans didn't want to waste any time. And unlike Cristiano Ronaldo, this terrible event did not almost kill him. Back in 2019, Juventus faced up against Fiorentina in the Serie A Championship. Most players bring their A game for Ronaldo when a title is at stake. He must have been entranced by his wife and completely forgotten about it. I'm playing, guy. Ronaldo and Juventus fought the game long, and the Crews due to a 1 triumph and captured their 9th straight Serie A title. And because a run like this has never been done before, Ronaldo and his colleagues tend to come through big time. I'm talking about pyrotechnics, champagne, and throwing their manager up in the air. And ultimately, Juventus was presented with the trophy. But if you know anything about Ronaldo, you know he's been here before, so he's already focused on the next game. But when Ronaldo started zoning out, he nearly killed his wife and son. Jesus, Ronaldo, your own kid may have been blinded due to your contempt. As horrible as this event was in 2010, what Fahad Khalfan did was extremely humiliating. He literally stopped football and vanished. It was the 2010 Asian Games, and our lad Fahad was pumped since it was just the second time Qatar had faced Uzbekistan. So he was hoping to make a good first impression. And luckily for him, he had a chance that most football players can only dream of around the 90-minute mark. Oh man, I was going to mock him for this, but to be honest, I would have done the same thing. I'm a jerk, which is why I make YouTube videos instead. However, Qatar lost the game and was eliminated from the competition. And to make matters worse, the tape became so viral that Fahad physically left and never played for the team again. But I don't blame you, man. Every player makes mistakes. But what if I told you that a complete team had experienced one of the most humiliating moments in sports history? We can't wrap things up here until you know about it. In 1996, it was the season's final game, and Manchester City faced Liverpool. But they sorely needed a win, or they would be relegated. However, one sly fan received a phone call during the game and destroyed them. The supporters began telling people that Manchester City only needed a draw to survive. And the idea went like wildfire all the way down to Alan Ball, Manchester City's manager. I'm not sure why you'd follow a fan's suggestion, but he did. So he began encouraging the squad to merely draw the game. And when Manchester City scored to make it 2-2, they celebrated as if they had won a championship rather than genuinely attempting to win or at least score. Like, they're expected to win football. They just opted to squander the clock by playing in the most ludicrous fashion I've ever seen. As time passed, it became clear that at least one squad member wasn't a total moron. Man City urgently sought to surge and score in the final few minutes, but it was too late. Liverpool did everything they could to keep them from ever going near. As a result, Manchester City became the first professional club to deliberately lose a game and be thrown out of its league. How hilarious! The coach must have been really pissed to have been the cause of his own misfortune. But man, I'm not shocked. Sometimes in football things go too far, as when a player tried to devour the guy defending him, and another beat up his supporter on live television. I mean, how crazy is that? Oh, you want to hear more about that? Well, check out this video right here. These football players went much too far. And wait till you hear about Ronaldo. Man, it's terrifying. So, guys, what are you still doing here?